CTV Scott Hurst is joining us now with more. So, Scott, first of all, this storm arrived ahead of schedule last night. Give us an idea of the damage and the impact that Milton has had on the coast of Florida and really right through the central part of the state.
Right across, because Marcia, of course, as we've been reporting on and as we saw through the night, it remained hurricane strength right across the state, even as it exited on the Atlantic side of the coast. And it came with ferocious wind and rain. The video that you've been showing is just stunning. Particularly, we saw Tropicana Field right there, that roof ripped off. And as you said, that was supposed to house rescue operations and people that were now trying to help in the wake of this disaster. According to the National Hurricane Center, the eye made landfall about 7 miles south of Sarasota, packing winds topping 200 kilometers an hour. Milton also dropped more than packing winds of 200 kilometers an hour. Milton dropping more than 400 millimeters of rain on St. Petersburg, Florida, representing a more than 1 in 1,000 year rainfall for that area. The storm was significant, but not a worst case scenario as was feared. It did weaken before landfall, as you mentioned, to a Category 3. And the storm surge not as significant as initially projected, upwards of 8 to 10 feet, but not the 10 to 15 feet that was feared in some areas. However, what likely helped in this case was the massive evacuation effort that was underway leading up to the storm, because we all saw how powerful it was when it was gaining strength in the Gulf of Mexico. Regardless, as we see the images here, there has been significant damage, significant flooding, lots of destruction, dozens of land and water rescues through the night. And according to state officials, 80,000 people made it into shelters overnight, Marcia.
So what will today look like? Could be a very messy scene, Scott, as we're really just starting to get a sense of the devastation left in Milton's wake.
And at first light is when a lot of crews were able to make their initial assessment of the damage. There were rescues, as you were seeing, throughout the night. There'll be many more throughout the day, but also, unfortunately, there will likely be more recovery operations. There have been at least 4 confirmed deaths so far, but that number expected to rise as more and more first responders are able to get out into communities. Also at first light, hundreds of crews are out cutting and clearing some of the debris so that streets can potentially be passable for more first responders. Also, lots of bridge inspectors as well out to inspect them to make sure that they are safe, to allow people potentially to get home to their communities, people that had been evacuated from the region, people that had been able to get to shelters or get elsewhere leading up to the storm. So the damage is significant, and we'll expect it to get a lot more, see a lot more water rescues, see a lot more land rescues, and also assess a lot more of the damage throughout the day, Marcia.
All right, Scott, thanks for that. Now, Florida